Hello everyone. So our today's topic of discussion is profit and loss. So what we'll be doing in this video is that we'll be understanding this concept, that is what is profit, what is loss, and other terms related to this chapter such as selling price, cost price, mark price. Like what do you mean by these three terms? Then we'll also have a discussion regarding the term discount, like what exactly is discount, and then we're going to practice some problems. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Let's start from the scratch itself. So whenever you talk about this topic profit and loss, or whenever you talk about this chapter profit and loss, there are three things that you will always come across. So the first thing is the cost price, the second thing is the mark price, and the last thing is the selling price. These are the three terms that you will always come across. These are the three terms that you will always come across. Now what exactly is cost price, what exactly is mark price, and what exactly is selling price? Let's try and understand this. Okay, so we're going to take up a real life example in order to understand all the three things, because you need to understand this. Unless and until you understand this, you won't be able to understand profit, loss, and discount. Okay, so let's take a scenario of, let's talk about football jerseys. So what happens is that football jerseys are stitched in an industry or whatever the unit it is. Then they are transported to a retailer or to shops, and then the customer purchases it. These are the three things that happen. Every process, every item that you purchase basically goes through three things. First is the production. Whatever you purchase, even if you purchase a laptop or a tablet or a mobile phone, whatever, even a lamp, everything goes through three things. First is the production or the manufacturing. Second is the distribution. And the last thing is purchase. These are the three things that's gonna happen with every product that you're ever gonna purchase. Okay. Now, whenever something is manufactured in an industry, or whenever something is produced in an industry, there are like a lot of cost which are involved. For example, you're gonna have raw material cost. You're gonna have, for example, electricity charges in order to run the machine. Then you're gonna have packing cost. Then there are going to be labor charges you have to pay to the employees also, and a lot of things will be there. So all these costs which are incurred, now you don't have to go into detailing of this, that's not my concern. All these costs which are incurred while manufacturing or while producing something, all the costs that are incurred while manufacturing or while producing something is basically known as your cost price. So cost price is basically the amount of money that is incurred in manufacturing or in producing something. It is the amount of money incurred in manufacturing or producing something. This is what is known as the cost price. So let's suppose, for example, in one day, one unit produces, let's suppose, 10,000 football jerseys, and the total cost incurred for one day, let's suppose it was 2 lakh dollars. So you can say that one jersey cost about $20. One jersey costed about $20. This is basically what it means. Now this 2 lakh dollars will include, for example, your raw material price, because you'll have to procure your fabrics. Then there will be packing also, and a lot of things, other things are going to be there. Okay, then there is a running cost of machinery. So whatever it is there, the amount of money that is incurred in producing something or in manufacturing something is known as the cost price. That is known as the cost price. Now, once you produce something, or once an industry produces something, what they do is they ship that to the retailer, or they basically send it to the retailer, so that retailer can sell it to the customer. Now, when you ship something from your industry to the retailer or to the shop, there is a transportation cost that is incurred. Apart from the transportation cost, you always want to earn some profit. So there's a transportation cost. You also want to earn the profit. So what you do is you put a tag price, or you put a mark price on it, which is higher than the cost price, in order to earn profit, and also in order to compensate for the transportation cost. So you started with cost price, you increase the amount, which is basically known as your mark price or the tag price, so as to earn the profit and to compensate for the transportation cost. Then the shopkeeper, now let me give you one example of this. You would have seen this MRP whenever you purchase any product. Whenever you purchase a product, you must have seen MRP on it. That is known as the maximum retail price. Now this MRP is basically your mark price. This MRP is your mark price, which is effectively higher than the cost price. Okay. Now, once this is done, when the product is in the shop, then the customer comes and the customer says, okay, I'm willing to pay this much amount for this product. So the amount that the customer pays is known as your selling price. This is known as your selling price. So what is cost price? It is the amount of money that is incurred in manufacturing or in producing something. What is the mark price? That is known as the tag price or the MRP. That is the increment in the price. And then the amount of money that a customer pays in order to buy or to purchase that product, that is known as the selling price. So these are the three things which you need to remember: cost price, mark price, and selling price. You have a cost price, then you increase that price so as to earn the profit and to compensate for the transportation loss. It becomes MRP or it becomes mark price. Then a customer pays. Now customer does not always pays MRP. You always go for some discount. You say, okay, we are not ready to pay this amount, we want some discount. Remember that selling price is not always mark price. Alright, so let's take a real life example in order to understand this. So let's say a football, in order to manufacture or in order to stitch a football jersey, you have to incur, let's suppose, $10. In order to earn profit, we increase the price and we set a mark price of $50, which is also known as MRP. This is your cost price, CP, mark price, MP. Then usually you get some discount. It's not always you get a discount. Usually you get some discount, and the amount that is paid by you is usually less than or equal to $50. Okay. Now in real life, selling price is sometimes greater than the mark price also. But as far as maths is concerned, we consider selling price to be less than or equal to mark price, because when we say mark price, that's the maximum retail price. Okay. But in real life, you can have selling price greater than the mark price also. That's quite possible in order to earn some extra profit by the shopkeeper or by the retailer. That's quite possible. Anyways, the concern is you need to understand what is cost price, what is mark price, what is selling price, and I hope the three terms are clear to you. So cost price is the amount of money that is incurred in manufacturing or producing something. Mark price is the tag price. So whenever you go to a shop, you must, for example, if you go to a showroom to purchase a t-shirt, you would see, okay, there's a tag price of $15 on it. Okay. Then sometimes you get a discount, sometimes you don't get a discount. So you end up paying either $15 or less than $15. So the amount paid by you is known as the selling price. These are the three things which you need to understand: cost price, selling price, and mark price. This entire chapter revolves around these three things. So understanding of the three concepts is very important. Now, if you want to solve a question of this chapter, which is basically based on profit, loss, or discount, or effectively selling price, cost price, and mark price, so I'm going to give you a triangular relationship between the three. Remember this triangle and you can solve any question. You can solve any question of this chapter. You don't have to understand selling price, cost price, mark price, profit, loss. Again, you don't have to. Just watch this one. Watch this video. That's more than sufficient. Okay. Understand this triangular relationship. That's more than sufficient. Nothing else is required. All right. So we have cost price. We have selling price. We have mark price. Now remember that the relationship between cost price and selling price is always known as profit or loss. The relationship between cost price and selling price is always known as profit or loss. The relationship between mark price and selling price is always known as discount. There is no specific relationship defined between cost price and mark price. However, usually the cost price is increased so as to obtain the mark price. You increase the cost price in order to obtain the mark price. This is basically the concept. But we don't have any specific term defined for relationship between cost price and mark price. We have a specific term for the relationship between cost price and selling price and mark price and selling price. Okay. Now, if someone asks you to calculate profit or loss, if they ask you to calculate profit or loss, remember there is one simple formula that is nothing but selling price minus cost price. If this selling price minus cost price comes out to be positive, then it's a profit. If this comes out to be negative, then it is a loss. If selling price minus cost price comes out to be positive, then it's a profit. If selling price minus cost price comes out to be negative, then it's a loss. It's as simple as that. If they ask you to calculate the percentage, for example, profit or loss percent, it will be selling price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100%. Now, in many books, you'll observe that whenever you talk about profit percent, they have given the relationship as selling price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100%. And they have given the loss percent as cost price minus selling price divided by cost price into 100%. But you don't have to remember both of them, because if it is a loss, then it's quite obvious that cost price will be greater than selling price, and your numerator, that is selling price minus cost price, this will automatically come out to be negative. This will automatically come out to be negative if selling price is lesser than the cost price. So it will automatically compensate. Otherwise, if you want to remember specifically, then yes, this is how we solve for profit and this is how we solve for loss. It's completely your call whichever way you want to do it. Doesn't matter. And whenever you talk about discount, so your discount percent is mark price minus selling price divided by mark price into 100%. If you want to simply calculate discount, then discount is equal to mark price minus selling price. And remember that discount is never negative. You'll never come across a hoarding which says that we are running a discount of negative 30%. That's never going to happen. Your discount is always positive, which means mark price is always greater than selling price. Okay, this is how we do it when you talk about the theoretical maths, but in actual case, you can have selling price greater than the mark price also. That's quite possible. Alright, so these are the relationships and these are the formulas that you need to know. That's it. Now, what's more interesting is how can we solve the questions? Okay. So let's see. Let's try to solve the questions. Alright, so we are starting off with a simple question. So this is a question which is more related to the concepts of percentages. So pause the video and try this question. This is a question which is based on the concept of successive percentage increase or decrease. Okay. Pause the video and try this question, please. Okay. So you have two successive discounts. Discounts basically means that there is a reduction in price. Discount means that there is a reduction in price. So the value is decreasing by 8% and then by 12%. So the net discount will become minus 8 plus minus 12 plus minus of 8 into minus of 12 divided by 100. This is how we used to calculate the overall percentage change. I hope you have gone through the basics of percentages, okay, in which I have explained these formulas and everything. This is minus 2 and 8 into 12 comes out to be 96, so plus 0.96. So this will come out to be minus 19.04. So there's an overall discount of 19.04%. That's your answer. That is all that you have to do. Okay. Alright, let's move on. Alright, pause the video and try this question, please. Alright. Now, if you're starting with this chapter and this is the first time that you're solving questions of profit loss or what do you call this, cost price selling price, I would advise you to make this triangle as soon as you see this question, which is based on selling price, cost price and mark price. Without even reading the question, simply draw this triangle. This will definitely help you, trust me on this. Unless and until you are very thorough with the basics of cost price, selling price and mark price, always draw this triangle. This will always help you. Okay, now we're going to fill in the blanks. A factory sells its product to a distributor at 10% profit, who then sells it to the retailer at 8% profit. If the retailer pays 2250 for the product, what is the initial cost of the product? Now, interestingly, what they have done in this question is they are not using the term cost price, mark price and selling price. So they are saying that we have a factory, they are selling it to distributor at a profit of 10%, who then sells it to the retailer at a profit of 8%. And the retailer pays 2250 for the product. What is the initial cost? So in this case, this can be simply solved in this linear fashion. You can say that the initial cost would be $X. If there's a profit of 10%, that means distributor would have purchased it for 1.1x. And there is again a profit of 8%, that means retailer would have purchased it for 1.08 into 1.1x. Now retailer paid 2250, which means 1.08 into 1.1x is equal to 2250. So x is 2250 divided by 1.08 into 1.1. That's it. and that's your answer. You can calculate that with the help of a calculator. So 2250 divided by 1.1 and then further divide by 1.08, that will come out to be somewhere around like $1900. That will be our answer. Now in this case, luckily we didn't require this relationship anyways, but we'll continue to make this as soon as we see something like profit, selling price, or cost price, something like that. If we see those words, we will always form this triangle relationship. Okay, unless and until you get the concept, you have that clarity of the concept, then you don't have to do it anymore. Okay, all right, let's move on. Pause the video and try this question, please. All right, let's try this one. So the question says that Mr. P calculates his profit percent as a percent of selling price. Now I know that this question is pertaining to profit loss and selling price. So first of all, I'm going to draw my triangular relationship. That is cost price, selling price, mark price, and selling price. So now let's read the question. Mr. P calculates his profit percent as a percent of selling price. Now if I want to calculate the profit percent, the formula to calculate the profit percent is nothing but selling price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100%. Now in this statement it says that Mr. P calculates his profit percent as a percent of selling price. It calculates as a percent of selling price, which means for Mr. P the profit percent will be selling price minus cost price divided by selling price into 100%. He sells an item for $250 and calculates his profit to be 10%. Plug in the values. So 10% will be 250 minus x. Let's take selling price, cost price to be x, divided by 250 into 100%. So x will come out to be 225. X will come out to be 225, which means your selling price is 250, your cost price is 225, and the relationship between cost price and selling price is that of profit and loss. And the question is, what is the true profit percent? Now true profit percent is, we know that it's selling price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100%. That is 250 minus 225 divided by 225 into 100%. So that is 25 divided by 225 into 100%, which will be 100% by 9, which comes out to be 11.11%. So in actual, he had a profit of 11.11%, but since he was calculating with respect to selling price, he got a profit of 10%. That's what the difference is. Again, simply going by the basics, nothing else. I'm not doing anything else. Simply going by the basics. I know my relationships. I know my formulas. That's it. Trust me, this triangle is everything that you need to know in this chapter. Nothing else is required. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. So pause the video and try this question, please. Alright, let's try this one. When the selling price of a watch is $150, the loss percent is 15%. So first of all, I'm going to draw my triangle. So cost price, mark price, okay. Selling price is 150. So this is 150. The loss is 15%. So this is 15%. So first of all, before even moving on with the question, using this one statement and using the piece of information given to me in the question, till this point I can calculate my cost price, because I know that the relationship between cost price and selling price is that of loss. Selling price is given to me, loss percent is also given to me. I just need to calculate the cost price. Now the loss percent can be calculated as cost price minus selling price divided by cost price into 100%. Or if you want to take loss with the negative sign, then you can write your formula as selling price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100%. That's completely your call. If you want to take the sign, then do SP minus CP by CP. If you don't want to take the sign, then do it CP minus SP by CP. Use your logic. If it is loss, then cost price has to be more. Use your logic, that's nothing else. Okay, so 15 is equal to cost price, let's take it to be X, minus 150 divided by X into 100%. So I'm gonna get that 1.15x is equal to 150, or X is equal to 150 divided by 1.15. I hope I have not committed any mistake. It seems to me that I have. Let me just go back and check my calculation once. So this will become 0.15x is equal to X minus 150. Okay, I have committed a mistake. So this will give me 0.85 is equal to 150. Okay. So X will be 150 divided by 0.85, because when I was doing 150 divided by 1.15, my cost price was coming out to be less than selling price. Then how come it's a loss? It's not a loss. Now in this case, because you have a denominator which is less than 1, so the value of X will be greater than 150. In that case, you will have a loss. So the cost price is 150 divided by 0.85. Anyways, let's move on. What is the loss or gain percentage if selling price is increased to $200? So now the selling price is 200. So now the selling price is $200. The cost price remains the same. So profit or loss percent will be $200. That is the selling price minus cost price, which is 150 divided by 0.85 divided by 150 divided by 0.85, which is the cost price, into 100%. Into 100%. This is the profit or loss percent. Now I just need to calculate this value. So first of all, I would like to calculate the value of 150 divided by 0.8, and that will come out to be 0.85, sorry, that will come out to be 176.47. This value is coming out to be 176.5 approximately. Okay, so this is 200 minus 176.5 divided by 176.5 into 100%. So this is 23.5 divided by 176.5 into 100%. So this is roughly around 13.3%. This is roughly around 13.3%, and that's your answer. So the point is, if in this chapter, if you go according to the rules, it's pretty straightforward chapter. Okay, it's just this one triangular relationship which you need to remember, nothing else is required. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Pause the video and try this question, please. All right, let's try this one. A shopkeeper made 10% profit if the selling price of the product is 121. Again, the same thing. Cost price, selling price, mark price. It will get boring after some point of time. I don't deny that point, but you need to do this, guys, so that the concept is clear to you. Okay, you have to make this triangle at least like 20-25 times. Then once this concept is embedded, then you won't have any problem, trust me. So the shopkeeper made 10% profit. So I'm gonna write profit as 10%. The selling price was $121, so this is $121. Again, the same thing, I have profit, I have selling price, calculate the cost price. So 10%, that is profit percent, is selling price 121 minus cost price, take it to be X, divided by cost price, which is X, multiplied by 100%. So in this case, I'm not going to commit any mistakes. So 0.1 is equal to 121 minus X divided by X, or 121 is equal to 1.1X, which will give you X is equal to 110. That means the cost price is $110. What would be the percent loss profit if the selling price is reduced by $11? Now, if I'm going to reduce this by $11, then this selling price will basically become $110. Now, selling price is exactly equivalent to cost price. So the answer is no profit, no loss. No profit, no loss, and that's your answer. Alright, let's move on. Okay, now in this case, we have the mark price also. Okay, the questions from this point will become a bit more interesting, and you need that triangular relationship. Okay, so pause the video and try this question, please. Alright, let's try this one. Let's see what this question has for us. John bought a laptop at a discount for $P from retailer. He sold the laptop to his friend at the initial mark price, hence making 25% profit. Find the discount percent offered by the retailer. Alright, looks a bit confusing to me anyways. First is cost price, selling price, and mark price. That's the first thing that I'll be doing. So John bought a laptop at a discount for $P. So this statement basically means that John paid $P. If he paid $P, that means the selling price for John would be $P. And he got some discount. There was some discount also. What was it? We do not know this. He sold the laptop to his friend at the initial mark price. So let's consider the initial mark price to be $X. We do not know that. He sold the laptop to his friend at the initial mark price, hence making 25% profit. Now, when he is selling it to his friend, now let's think from the friend's perspective. When he is selling it to his friend, the amount for which John purchased the laptop will become the cost price of the laptop, and the amount paid by friend will become the selling price of the laptop. If we think from the friend's perspective, then the amount of money paid by the friend will become the selling price, and the amount of money paid by John to purchase the laptop will become the cost price. Now for friend, I can say that this will become the cost price. So if we talk about, this was the scenario for John. If we talk about his friend, and if I draw this again, then this $P will basically become the cost price. If we think from friend's perspective, because John paid $P in order to purchase that product. Okay, he made a profit of 25%, and he sold it at the initial mark price, which we took it to be X. So when he sold it at X, or when his friend paid him X dollars, he earned a profit of 25%. So X became the selling price, or the amount paid by the friend. $P became the cost price. So I can say that 25%, which is the profit percent, is equal to selling price, which is X, minus cost price, which is P, divided by cost price, which is P, into 100%. So X is equal to 1.25P. X will be equal to 1.25p. Which means the initial mark price of the laptop was 1.25p dollars. Now what's the question? Find the discount percent offered by the retailer. Now how do you calculate discount? Discount is mark price minus selling price divided by mark price into 100%. That will be 0.25p divided by 1.25p into 100%. 0.25 is 1 by 4, 1.25 is 5 by 4, so this will come out to be 1.5 into 100%, and that will simply be 20%. The discount that was offered by the shopkeeper or by the retailer to John was 20%. So again, simply going step by step, whatever information we have, we're going to write that in a triangle, and using that triangle, we're going to solve the question. That's it, nothing else. Trust me, every question, doesn't matter, the easiest one or the difficult one, every question of profit and loss or selling price, cost price, and mark price can be solved using this triangle relationship. Always. There is no question. Find me one question which you can't solve using this triangle relationship. This is the crux, this is the core of this chapter. That's nothing else. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. So pause the video and try this question, please. This is the kind of question which you can expect in SAT exam most oftenly. These are the types of questions from this chapter which can come in the SAT exam. Again, I have not given any options, so solve it the way you want to solve it. Alright, let's try this one. So Joe bought a suitcase from a store that gave 20% discount. As soon as I see the word discount, I'm going to go back and I'm going to write cost price, selling price, and mark price. Joe bought a suitcase from a store that gave 20% discount. So discount is 20% on its original price. The total amount he paid was $A. Now what he paid will be the selling price. So selling price is $A, including 12% sales tax on the discounted price. Find the original price of the suitcase. Okay, now this $A is the final amount paid by Joe. Which I believe would include the sales tax which is given in the question, and this is basically the amount which is after the discount. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's consider the mark price to be $M. Let's assume the mark price to be $M. Now using this, can I calculate my selling price? Yes, I can do that because I have the discount with me. Now we know that discount percent is basically equal to mark price minus selling price divided by mark price into 100%. So I can say that 20% will be equal to mark price minus selling price divided by mark price into 100%. Now understand this. Don't take the selling price to be A here. In this formula, don't take it to be A. The reason being is that after the discount, there is again a sales tax of 12% which is included. So this, after you're giving the discount, you're also adding a 12% sales tax. So this A includes everything. Okay. Now this formula, when I'm calculating the selling price here, I'm not considering my sales tax in this selling price. I'm not considering. I'm yet to add that 12%. So don't take this to be A. Don't take this selling price to be A. Okay. So if I solve this further, I'm going to get that 0.2 M is equal to M minus selling price, or my selling price is 0.8 M. My selling price is 0.8 M. Now on this 0.8 M, which is the discounted price, now on this 0.8 M, we have an additional 12% sales tax. So my final selling price will be 0.8 M plus 12% of 0.8 M, which will come out to be 1.12 into 0.8. Now this amount is equal to A. This amount is equal to A. So A is equal to 1.12 into 0.8 M, which will give you M is equal to A divided by 1.12 into 0.8. I'm going to give you a real life example also so that you can relate the things that we are discussing. Don't worry. Okay. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Now understand this with a real life example so that you can relate this, and then we can have a simpler way also to solve this question. Now let's say suppose you went to some XYZ showroom and you're looking out for a pair of pants, and the tag or the MRP says that it's gonna cost you, let's suppose, $50. It's gonna cost you $50. This is what the MRP says. Now while entering the shop, you read the hoarding, and the hoarding said that we are giving you a sale and the discount is let's suppose 20% on any item that you wish to purchase. The discount is 20%. Now once you have selected your pair of pants and it says that the MRP is $50, what's going to happen is you're going to get a discount of 20% on $50. So you're going to get discount of 20%, that is 20% by 100% into $50, which is going to be like, not percent, which is going to be like $10. Which means you're supposed to pay $40 excluding the excluding the tax, my mistake. You're supposed to pay $40 excluding the tax. Now the tax that will be charged will be based on this cost, because this is the amount that you're supposed to pay to buy that product. So on $40 you will be charged a tax. Now that tax can be anything depending upon country to country. Like in India we pay 18%, in some other country it would be something else. So on this amount that you're supposed to pay to purchase that product, you have to pay a tax. So for example, let's say that tax is 10%. You're going to pay a 10% tax on that. So this will come out to be $44. So this A that was given here is this price. That is the total amount paid. And this 40 here is your selling price, which we calculated to be 0.8 M, which was 20% less than the mark price, because you got a discount of 20%. So you started with a mark price of M. Now let me relate the things for you. You started with a mark price of M, you got a discount of 20%, your selling price became 0.8 M. You're adding a 12% tax on it, you're increasing this value by 12%, which will make this 1.12 into 0.8 M. And now this amount is equivalent to the final amount which is to be paid by you, or to be paid by Joe in this question, or by the customer, which is equal to it. Hence the value of M will be equal to A divided by 1.12 into 0.8. And that's your answer. Now, whichever way you want to solve it, please go ahead. It's your call. But understanding of things is more important. Okay. Alright then guys, let's keep it here as far as this video is concerned. In the next video, we'll be solving a couple of more questions based on selling price, cost price, and mark price. Okay, I hope that triangular relationship is clear to you, because that's the focus of this chapter. Okay, you don't have to know anything else. If you know that, then you know everything about this chapter. Then it's all a game of plugging in the correct values and solving the question properly, nothing else. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe for more videos and exam related content on SAT, GMAT, and GRE. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please do let me know. I'll be happy to help you with that. And please share the videos with your friends also, so that they can also learn. They can also improve on their basic parts for GMAT, GRE, and SAT exam. And thank you for all the comments and the likes for the videos. It has been really encouraging for me. And I'll keep on making more and more videos unless and until I cover up the entire maths part of SAT, GMAT, and GRE. Alright guys, so thank you so much. Keep watching and keep learning. Thank you so much.